Kelly, how are you?
I'm good. Hayley, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Hello to you joining us for season two of A Measure of Marketing. We hope you're well. This is episode four, and we are talking about marketing, when to do it yourself and when to outsource.
DIY or outsource? This is a
Quite
good conversation.
subjective.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a common battle, particularly well, maybe most businesses of all different sizes, to be honest. But definitely, I feel the pull when it's a solo entrepreneur, or if they, if it's solo entrepreneurs, then like already outsourcing maybe client work, or they're starting to build a bit of a team. Yeah, definitely that part. Solo entrepreneurs particularly. I felt this many times myself. When do I keep DIYing or pass stuff over?
I think there is a battle, especially when it comes to budget. And it's like, well, do I pay someone to do something that I'm doing? And spend the money, or do I save the money and put myself under pressure when it comes to time and not being able to
Yeah.
do other things very well? And I think there's different points in a business owner's journey when
Mhm.
they'll feel this, like right at the beginning, probably when they're overwhelmed right way through, and then when they may want to grow. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we should probably look at those,
Yeah.
that timeline, I suppose, because they
Yeah.
will pull in
Yeah. Well,
different proportions.
because I think, like, to be fair, if we all had some cash in the bank, we'd probably be outsourcing quite a bit of stuff. Would you know?
I'd
Or
love to outsource my marketing. I
yeah.
would love to. And I don't think it's necessarily money. I think for me, it's because I'm a marketer. I feel that I shouldn't.
Yeah, same. But also, I like doing my own. Like,
Yeah,
I would quite happily just work on my own.
yeah, 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 yeah. If I
Doing
could
other
just do
people.
mine, my little bubble. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, then on the flip, is you've got business owners where they are an absolute no and don't like marketing or don't understand it.
Mm.
And sometimes there's that bit in the middle of those two things is they might have the budget, but where do they start in terms of outsourcing it as well?
Yeah, I think everyone knows a little bit about marketing. Everyone dabbles. I think marketing strategy is probably a different beast, and why
Yeah.
you or I might be called in at the beginning, or an agency, you might want to work with them to kind of, get the ball rolling. But in
Yeah.
terms of outsourcing the doing, the execution, the stuff, I think if you're really well versed at copywriting, and you know how to create hooks and narratives and storytelling, you don't need to outsource that. I would always recommend outsourcing the things that take you time that you don't know much about,
Hmm.
and where it would free you up to focus on the copywriting.
Yeah.
Um, so that's always my first kind of question when someone says, "Oh, I can't do it all," or "I need some help with this." It's like, okay, well, what's the best thing you could outsource? You don't have to outsource everything.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so many different people with different marketing hats on that could do it for you, not just a generalist marketer.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that bit of, do you have the skill set for that area? And B, do you love it? Because you
Yeah.
could be great at it, but absolutely not, still not want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a client
Okay.
come to me just saying, I don't get social media, I don't understand it, and I really don't like it. So
Yeah.
one of the things I'd look to outsource would be that. But I love copywriting. So I'd really like to keep
Yeah.
writing blog posts and articles and stuff. And that to me, that was like, okay, that's really clear.
Perfect.
You know where you need the help. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, is there a question of, I guess as well, it's like depends on where the business owner is in their journey. So I was with someone yesterday, a business owner friend. They are in their first year, and I was like, oh, I really recognize this bit that you're in, like setting up like Calendly and just all of the like more of the admin bits as well, or choosing the right platforms, um, having that confidence to just invest in one social media platform without getting that FOMO of doing all of the others.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess it depends on where, like the time frame, where they're at in their journey as well, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
if they're further down the line, I would definitely consider that. And also, okay, what have you got set up already? If you're a bit further down the line, um, and almost doing a bit of an analysis of, are you investing a lot of energy here and not getting much return? Do you feel like you're investing the right energy and working that channel, whatever it is, as best as possible? Do you want to keep it? Do you not want to keep it? Like, is your audience engaging? Because there's a question of, maybe it's not a DIY or an outsource, it's a remove, and then
Yeah.
be left with the other things to then make that decision. I'll do this bit, I'm going to outsource this bit instead. Um,
There's so many different routes. And I think when you start your own business, the two routes well, there's multiple, but in my mind, you could do it all yourself and start it slowly and build it up, and you save money and you build the money. Or if you have the budget and you can outsource, it allows you to be the business owner, to do the networking, to go out there and either build your team, build your offering, build your network more, knowing that the marketing is outsourced, and you've got a fractional marketer to be able to do it for you as you build your team, or if you're keeping it within yourself. But I think that there's no right or wrong. And I think there's so many variables based on
yeah,
knowledge, skills, time, inclination, budget. You could be 2 years down the line having done it all yourself, and then you hit the point and you go, right, I've got enough money to do this now. I'm at the
yeah.
point where I really want to grow this. I'm gonna let it go. And letting
Yeah.
go is actually probably the hardest thing of trusting
Mhm.
someone to run with your brand
Yeah.
and that decision.
Yeah. I just had another thought that popped up then, how you could also split it. So we was just chatting before we hit record about funnels, marketing funnels, and like
Oh,
social
yes.
media being at the top. Um, and you could actually outsource the visibility piece, be it like LinkedIn, work with somebody to create a nice funnel into like maybe email marketing, into like a sales, more of a salesy process at the bottom. And you work with somebody on this, outsource that top bit, but you're still
Yeah.
having conversations with them about the bit underneath, and you own that bit because it leads to direct contact to you. That's another way to chop it up
Yeah.
instead. Look at the journey, the customer journey instead. Um, I would definitely say to outsource the website build to some
Mm.
degree, though. And again, based on budget, um, how much the website person does and runs with versus your direction, um, is another way that you can chop it up too.
And yeah, if you're starting out, even just a one-page website, you could do yourself just to get going. There's so many different
Yeah,
approaches.
I guess it
Um,
comes down to that like skill set and
that
eye,
skill.
I think, like
Yeah.
the side of it, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the SEO and that side of it.
Yeah.
You want it fully working for
Yeah.
you, but absolutely,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be big and crazy or expensive. The
No,
website.
and I think if you've got the skill set and you were to seek a bit of advice and guidance, you could actually create yourself a bit of a workflow of, okay, this is what I need to do to set myself up. This is where I'm going, and then just start and try to do it yourself. But I think having that outsourced help to begin with, just that top level kind of direction, isn't a bad thing. If you really needed to spend the budget, at least get that and get that top level stuff. And I'm not just talking marketing strategy, I'm talking about the setup and structure of your marketing function, even if it is just one person, if you're not going to outsource it. Because I
Yeah,
think you do learn as you go with marketing, and that's the whole, one of the brilliant things with it. But you can balls up early on and make a rod for your own back moving forward. So it's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm totally going to big us up now as marketing consultants, but I,
Okay.
I would say, if you are thinking about outsourcing, there was a question that we were asked on our Measure of Marketing LinkedIn page around, there's so many different kind of marquee roles, as in
Mm,
graphic designers, social media people, digital
yeah.
people. There's all of the stuff, isn't there? and everyone's got their own either specific place where they deliver. But if you do meet a marketing person at networking, for example, and you've got in the back of your mind that you want to outsource, I would just ask them like in the moment or just book, see if you can have like a quick
Yeah.
20 minutes with them and just ask their thoughts from like a top level helicopter view. Let them know what you've got rolling marketing wise already, what you've been working on, and just get their opinion on. I'd probably go to this person, like get a social media person and do that, or get a website person to do this, or you will get the best use of your money here instead. Don't do
Yeah.
this, don't do that. Because yeah, I think they're best placed to we're a bit trained. Our eye is trained to sit at the top, isn't it, and see everything. So yeah, that conversation is worthwhile,
Yeah.
I reckon.
I agree with you. And I know we don't, this podcast isn't to promote ourselves, but what I
No.
am doing is having a bit of a Hayley moan in that there are people that think as marketers we just do marketing, but actually it's that knowledge of branding, graphic design, social media, print, thinking about SEO, copywriting, web development and design, all the way through to, business development and sales. We have nuggets of knowledge that
Yeah,
can just
sure.
steer you. So I think if you do meet someone, as you say, really pull on their knowledge because you won't be going down one route. You'll have such a broad perspective of what marketing covers because there's so
Yeah,
many different pathways and
yeah,
roles and
yeah.
expertise.
And there's been so many times where someone has, I've been in front of a business owner and I've been able to go, oh, let me just ask these questions. And then I'll be like, yeah, I think you need to just do this first. And it's
Yeah,
not come and work with me or like do marketing strategy. It's say, I'd say leave that for now and focus
yeah,
on this because I can see that it's taking up a lot of your headspace and it's kind of
yeah,
giving you a bit of a blocker. So do that and then go to this next and see how you feel from there. So
yeah.
I think like a genuine person would be able to do that in a quick networking conversation to
Mm.
help you out.
Do you think if we were to take the question when do I outsource, when do I do it myself?
Mm.
Do you think, say the introduction, it's been around a couple of years, the introduction of Gen AI tools like ChatGPT and
Yeah.
Gemini have
Mm.
actually muddied the answer to that question
Mm.
because you
Yeah.
could outsource to a robot. You could do it yourself using a robot, using a machine,
Mm.
using an LLM, large language model. You can do it. So
Mm.
I don't know if it makes it easier to answer that question or if it muddies it. I think it muddies it because
Does.
the knowledge you'd need and the mindset to be able to use Gen AI and having to have that ground knowledge of marketing first to ensure you get the results you
Yeah.
want from a prompt, I
Yeah.
think can often be more time, it can be more time consuming than you think.
Yeah. Yeah. I was having this conversation with a friend yesterday. We was talking about like the Microsoft package and Copilot and AI agents. And I think in that conversation, we're like, yeah, they're all really great and like can be super helpful. This person has like a broad knowledge of business though and marketing um and is quite like solid in a thinking of brand and things like that. So I was like, yeah, go with it because I know you'll inject the right stuff. But you're right, like unless you're putting the right stuff in, you're gonna
Yeah,
get you're not gonna get the best out of it. And again, it's still, even if it's cheap, time is money still in most people's world. So um yeah, and I've spent many a times like probably injecting the wrong stuff for my own business into ChatGPT and then being disappointed
mm,
with it. And I'm like, because my head just isn't in the game that day and I'm overthinking my own stuff. So it's definitely possible. Yeah.
yeah. I
Muddy,
suppose there's
deep the
it
water.
muddies it, but then equally I say there's benefit of someone that does know how to use Gen AI with that marketing knowledge, but it doesn't necessarily
Yeah,
answer the
sure.
question. But
I think
yeah,
it's another thing that another thing in the pot and another decision to make alongside, have I got the budget? Is this the right time? I'm already feeling under pressure
Mm.
versus all of these marketing roles. Oh, and there's AI, and is that the
Yeah,
best possible outcome, or is it human to human work? I'm not sure. There's quite,
yeah,
yeah, it just adds another layer of complexity to the decision making in my perspective.
yeah. In
Um,
my experience, most people start out and they seek a bit of direction and then they do it themselves, or they at least
yeah,
have someone close by that does it themselves. They then
yeah,
hit a point where they're either overwhelmed or they hit a point of growth where they need to be able to hand it over so that they can do more of the business stuff and drive the business.
yeah,
Um, but I think sometimes there's a gut feeling that you have to take as well, you as a business owner, whether you have a
yeah.
team or not, when you outsource, or, only you know what's eaten into your time of an evening or stopping you from making business decisions and pushing the business forward in such a
Mm.
way. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely, there's
yeah,
definitely the intuition part to it,
yeah,
definitely. But again, at the same time, like sometimes we can be doing busy work and not really considering, is this the best use of my time? And then you get into that spiral of, oh, I actually can't afford to outsource it. But so there's that bit as well. I always think that it
yeah,
comes around maybe like the 18 months, 2 year mark,
yeah, agreed.
I would say. I really noticed that as a bit of a tipping point for people. Um, so yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that there is a right and a wrong answer to it though. Like if you're happy DIYing and you're enjoying it and you don't want humongous growth, like I do think you have to outsource if you want humongous growth for sure. But if you're happy rolling with it and you've got this nice flow and your nervous system is settled, you enjoying your client work or whatever that is, then yeah, carry on doing
yeah,
it and seek that
yeah,
help when you hit little blockers. Because I honestly do think like there is no better skill to learn than marketing into sales, like to learn
yeah,
communication, because that's all it is. That's, yeah, you have, yeah, it's key to learn. So it's great doing it yourself at the same time.
yeah. If you can learn from it and learn from other people, and there's plenty of ways to get that knowledge. Um, yeah, I think it depends on you as well as a business owner, your character and your way of approaching it. So yeah, no right and no wrong way. Very subjective, but maybe we've given a bit of food for thought for people based on our
Yeah,
knowledge and
great.
experience.
And there's also lots of different packages, isn't there? Like there's, I think it's really noticed now that there's group spaces that you can be in, like community spaces where you can ask questions. There's cheaper like one-on-one support. And also I think you can definitely approach people. I've done this particularly in my first year. It wasn't on a marketing angle, but it was someone that I'd met in business who I knew had a lot of knowledge. And I was like, if I just pay you X amount each month, will you just sit with me and talk me through stuff? And she was like,
Talk.
I don't normally do this, but yeah, let's give it a go. So if like ask the question, like if you
Yeah,
need some help for a little period of time, but you can't find the thing for you that's going to help you, but you'd love to work with a certain person, ask the question, I'd say, and say, I have this amount, would you be able to help me over the next 4 months? And just do it on a time basis. I would definitely encourage
mm.
people to do that because I gained lots from that like 6 months of paid for coffee time. And
Yeah, yeah.
it was the best thing I probably did, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just reaching out, and the power of LinkedIn and your network and
Um,
community will help with that. And even if you meet someone and you gel at a
yeah,
networking event or a meetup, use it, use your
yeah,
network.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, anything structured or formal. So,
No, yeah. Very good.
hmm,
Lovely to chat, Hayley. I hope that we've helped
thank you.
in this episode and it's just given a few different ways to kind of like cut the pie. Is that the right term? You know what I mean?
I've never heard that expression before in my life.
As in like,
Cut the pie.
Cut the pie. No, because you only really cut a pie. Well, you can cut pie in lots of different ways, I'm sure. What I mean is that there's different perspectives and framing and ways to work out what's right for you. I think we've covered that. It's a no from me.
I've
Okay.
got to go and Google. I haven't got a clue. Haven't got a
I
clue.
don't think that's the phrase.
Cut the
I
pie.
think it was skin the cat, and I can't use that phrase.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
we're not going.
no, the
Was
cat's
what
just
was in
looked
my
at me.
mind, so I turned it into food instead.
I'm not going to use valuable listening time of our
It
subscribers to Google it, but if anyone has heard of that, do comment on the posts where
wasn't
you've
cut the
heard this
pie,
from.
it was the other one, but I can't repeat it because it's not a nice phrase.
Okay.
Anyways, this episode is fun.
Okay. It's taken a
That was
turn.
helpful.
I look forward to the next episode where we
Yeah,
can
that was
continue the
helpful.
conversation. See you in
We'll
the
see
next
you on
one.
the next one.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.